All right, ladies and idiots, we are back with the bullshit because I'm back. As Chewy so astutely pointed out in last video, I am the king bullshitter, or the the most full of bullshit. Probably a little of both. Um, but yeah, we gotta we gotta delve into some of the nitty gritty of the league. But first, something that we didn't do last night in typical bets video is pick this week's winners, or in my case, pick all the losing teams.
I feel
So
like
if I pick you this week, probably not saying very many good things for your team's chances.
I feel like this intro has been my favorite so far this season because it sounds like you're like a smooth jazz radio DJ. Like, all right, welcome to the bullshit portion. I'm back.
Now I just
Smooth and-
I got moved to a new job site, and these last 3 days have been kicking my ass, and I don't see it getting any easier for the next 2 years. So
all right.
I'll probably be tired all the time. But
Good
hey,
shit.
I'm going to take one shot for the stuff that I lost last week.
Yeah, 1 of 4. Enjoy. We did that last night, so we're just moving straight into this week's picks. Oh, you're
Keep on-
drinking. That's the other peanut butter one, right?
And our sponsor.
I was gonna ask about that because my screwball, I was gonna say he's getting low, but I just looked at it. It's half full, which probably for me and alcohol is low.
So
But not last
one
month.
day left.
Yeah, it's so all right, let's jump right into it now that I'm running it again. It's gonna start with my game, which happens to be with Carver. So Carver always picks Carver. I'm assuming that's not changing this week,
Facts.
right? Harris, I know your pick, but I'm gonna ask you like I don't, because I'm staring at the thing. All our picks are already in. I could just read these off. It would make for a terribly boring show. Harris, who are you picking?
We're
I'm
all about content, Chewy.
I'm taking the man who has the same name as I.
Damn, that's cold. Me being me also chose Carver, even though it pained me a lot.
You love me.
I mean, I love you more than at least one individual in this league.
Here.
Sure. We then move on to Bill versus Andy, with Bill being the projected winner. Carver, of course, was projected to beat me because my team is garbage. I
Don't
went
you have
ahead.
a better
and took
record
the-
than me? Don't you have a better record than me?
I have the same record as you.
Do you have more points than me?
God no. I think I am now the lowest. Yes, I am the lowest points. I am second from last because some forgotten soul is last place with a 1-5 record. Gary has gone on a 2-game winning streak and is now tied with you and myself. So we are the three, Gary, you and I are the 3 2-5 teams.
Nice.
Right. So Bill versus Andy. Bill is projected to win. I chose Bill. Carver, who'd you choose?
William.
Good choice. Harris.
I also chose Bill.
Yes, this is correct. All right. We move on to unless people want to change it. There's one game on here I wanted to go look at, but I haven't jumped to it. Gary is projected to beat you, Harris.
Yeah.
Who do you choose?
I'm pulling a Carver here and choosing myself.
That's not surprising. Carver, what are you choosing?
I, in my notes, have written down Gerald.
That is what I have in the sheet, which is fun because after not predicting Gary to win in week 6, you have taken him the next 2 weeks after that.
Yeah. Well, he proved he could do it. And
Yeah.
well, I mean, with ETN now, the lead horse over there,
It's true.
it's really all he needed. His team was just an ETN away from being a powerhouse.
Right.
ETN away. That's a good name. I like that.
Yeah. So you chose Gary. I also chose Gary for the third straight week. So Harris is the only one not choosing Gary for the third straight week.
True that. True
What
story.
a dummy.
Yeah, yep. That moves us on to somebody versus Corey. Harris looks to have chosen the somebody. Carver looks to have chosen Corey. And I may switch it, but as of right now, let me double check. I may have chose the somebody. Is there a reason I would still do that? No, I'm gonna switch it because I hate him so much. I'm gonna switch it to Corey. This will give Harris a leg up on catching up this week.
Oh,
Steve
gosh.
chose Corey and Harris chose somebody I don't recognize. And then move on to Richie, projected to beat Spear.
You don't recognize them as a person?
I might recognize them as a human vegetable.
Rutabaga.
Yeah. We got Richie versus Spear. Richie is actually projected to win. Harris, where do you stand on this?
I chose douchebag.
That is correct. You did. Yep. I also chose douchebag, who thinks he's good at logic or something, by cheating. Carver, do you want to
I
be different?
chose sex on a stick, Richie to grow.
That is, yep, yeah.
That's a
So,
good choice.
yep. And then
Not my
lastly,
choice. Yeah.
we have Brashawn projected to be Nielsen. I took Brashawn because obviously we love our number one listener, so we should just pick him to win because that's the thing we do for our fans. Carver, what
That's
about
I
you?
did.
Yeah, Harris did it too.
I'm gonna follow suit and go with Bro Sean.
There you go, Brashawn. We all actually think you're going to win this week.
He's got a great running back in Kamara.
It's true. It's almost like
Hey,
somebody.
before we get off of this topic, well, Chewy, you're going to run down these again, right?
Sure.
All right, go ahead and do that. Go ahead.
Okay. We all took Carver to beat me. We all took Bill to beat Andy. And we all took Brashawn to beat Nielsen. The difference comes in the Gary Harris game where Carver and I took Gary. Harris took himself. Then we had somebody versus Corey. Carver and I took Corey. Harris took whoever the other person is. And then Richie versus Spear. Harris and I took Spear, and Carver took Richie. So that's where we stand this week. So there's a little bit of differences going in there. Mostly looks like
Me.
you're the more different one, but
Yep.
you and I do have the Spear douchebag chosen over Richie, which is unfortunate because Richie, is the better person here. But his team might not be. So that's the picks. Brashawn seems to be the only one choosing anyone. Harris finally realized he owed drinks for Brashawn choosing him ever since Harris was like, nobody picks me. And so now Harris has to drink almost every week because Brashawn just keeps picking him.
I don't think he'll pick me this week, honestly. But if he does, I got him. I thank you for bringing that up because I totally just forgot about that, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I spaced and I looked at it and I was like, wait, we were going to just keep this going. So
Yeah.
that's that. We went over it last night. Correct picks. I'm at 28. Harris is at 25. Carver, you're all the way down at 18. So,
Playing possum.
right. Good luck catching up. By
Good
chance,
strategy.
do you have any idea what we do when somebody gets all of them correct?
That was going to be my question. Yeah.
Like
We did something last year when they had the golden week.
virtual high fives.
We did something last year.
It may actually just be like the other guys do a shot and chug or something simple, but we'll figure it out. I don't know. So that's where we're at with the picks for the week. Carver just took, I think, his
Third.
third. Okay. So we can move on to whatever bullshit we want to talk about.
All right. So first I'm going to talk about this. I don't even know why I really care because I'm not involved in the bet, but I was watching the videos where Chris was trying to explain this bet that you guys have, which apparently is super confusing.
It is not. That
It's
is not
not.
the confusing thing.
No, it's not at all. I totally understand it, except for the fact
Yeah.
that fucking keep saying it doubles and it doesn't double. Because
It
he's like,
doesn't
oh,
actually
if you lose,
double.
you lose five
It's-
times in a row, then you owe 5 cha-cha chugs right in a row. It's got to be back to back. I think,
Right.
what world is that doubling? It's not, but he kept
It-
saying double and it was annoying me. So it doesn't double, it just adds on. It continues
Right.
to add one to the next.
It's because the bet has yet to get past 1 week. Like it
Yeah, 'cause
has,
they keep switching
yeah, if I
or bye
had,
week.
if we had correctly skipped the bye week, Chris would have owed double this week because it was the second time he had lost in a row. Like,
Yeah.
so it does double week 1. After that, it just adds 1. It doesn't double. The problem is we haven't got past it doubling. So we're both like, all right, well, it's doubling this week because doubling 1 is 2. Next week, it only goes up by 1. We will not say, I will hopefully not say triple because that'll look real dumb. But based off of the original bet, it is tripling. So yeah, so
I think since the wording was double, that it should double every week it loses.
the fun thing is it's Chris
If
and
you
me,
lose 5 times in a row, what's that?
That's
1,
10.
2, 4,
no,
8,
it's
16.
not yeah.
16.
Yeah. Yeah. So
16. That'd be great if
Yeah.
you lose 5 times in a
it
row.
would. Yes. Knowing Chris and I, we would probably do that because we're the fun people. The fun of this bet is currently, in a sense, I am losing it because every time it has doubled, it's because Chris lost first. So then all I do is basically I'm drinking the equivalent of just drinking a bet every week because every other week it switches and it started on him losing, and that's where the doubling started because he wanted to do a double or nothing. And so I was like, well, you already drank it. Why don't we just put it in there as a 2 times bet? And then I lost it. And then for some reason, then it goes back, then I put it back down to 1 and so on and so forth. And every time it's only 1, Chris loses. And every time it's 2, I seem to lose. So it has honestly gone back and forth every single week. So it's just been a good bet by the other person for making me drink just a little more, but that's about it. Any other, if you want a little quick other bets, I got bored and did some of the season long checking because some of them are interesting. We already know you get to do the Century Club at the Super Bowl. Carver. Who knows what's going to happen with Baker or Flacco? I don't know who took who in this. I think Richie is the Flacco and Corey is Baker. As of right now, their points per game, because that's how they bet. Baker is under 10 points per game and Flacco is at 15.2. So if neither of those guys ever play again this season, whoever took Flacco wins and the other person is going to do a shot and a chug. We've got Bill has more total points than Spear regular season. Currently, Bill's looking pretty good. It's a shot or a chug. Harris and I have Bill. It's a 40-point difference. It's not insurmountable, so we'll see how it goes, especially with the way Spear's team has been going lately. Special K makes the playoffs. Hey, this one is not looking good for Harris. You're the only one that took that. Carver and I were both like, does
I know.
not.
What's
Well, remember
that?
these were the bets where Carver's like pick something crazy or whatever, and that was one of my crazies.
Yep. I did not write down the exact numbers, but you and I have Kamara versus Zeke, which is interesting because Kamara's not on your team anymore, and Zeke is.
Yeah.
But your player in this is Kamara. So is Carver's. He jumped on this. I took Zeke because he was mine, even though I knew he probably wasn't going to win this. I didn't write the numbers down because both these guys are still playing. As of right now, because of the injuries to Kamara, Zeke is winning by about 10 to 15, if I remember correctly. I think Zeke is just short of 75 and Kamara is at like 62.
Okay.
Just so you know that, so it's not looking good because I'm pretty sure Kamara is going to quickly pass that. No one has more accepted bets than Chris, except myself. Oddly enough, that is actually looking really good for me. It's not actually a bet. So it's just that it was more of a challenge to the rest of the league to try to beat Chris in bets so that I would do a card bet. But since we changed how card bets can be done, I will probably just choose one of the available ones at the end of the year myself, assuming somebody actually beats Chris. Which if he slows down, could be possible. Interesting one, lowest accepted bet total. And this one is shot or chug per finish. So Harris has Nielsen, which of course, the way this bet is worded, Harris is winning this. I am actually in second because Bill is low. Bill and Spear are tied for let's say it's second and third lowest from this one. And Carver took Brooks, who is actually, I think, like right in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
In fact, yes, he is sixth lowest. Nope, seventh lowest. So he's actually the sixth highest, if I have these organized right. Yep. And last couple more wins, Cardinals or 49ers. I think that one's tied, if I remember.
Ty
And
goes to the Niners.
then-
How about this? Ty, we both do a wall sit and only have to do a shot or a chug.
that sounds right.
Sure.
Cool.
Isn't the wall sit one the McCaffrey one?
Nope.
Or is that-
Nope, that's just a shot or a chug.
Was
McCaffrey
that-
played 10 games.
Pretty confident in that one.
That's
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lose that one.
wait, you're more confident now that he's on the team where running backs get hurt all the time?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Just
Wait.
checking.
Are there home games? Because home games, that scares me. Niners turf is known to destroy knees.
As the McCaffrey owner and also the 49er fan, I honestly don't know because I don't think I have McCaffrey in that many. I think I have him maybe in one, and it's a league that I'm not too like big on. Has he missed any games this year?
No.
No.
Okay, so yeah, I'm about to lose that. 2 more games, right?
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, I will pay that up as soon as that happens. Just so you know,
Okay.
as soon as it happens,
All right.
right there.
Enough of this. Enough of this stuff that makes sense. Let's get into the trades. All right. All right. Let's quickly talk about your guys' trade first, since
Yeah.
okay.
Quickly.
Yeah. Chewy, you are not going to make the playoffs,
Nope.
and you traded for only one rookie, which could be a rookie keeper, which to me is the only reason why this trade seems like would make any sense, because otherwise it's just you helping out your buddy by giving him some players that you would need. Because if you have zero chance of making the playoffs, and this is kind of a precursor to the other trade, if you have zero chance of making the playoffs, big if, because I think everybody's still technically in it,
Not yet.
then the only reason you would make trades is to better your situation for the future. And you have a bunch of rookie running back, maybe not a bunch, but you have some rookie running backs that you would probably take over George Pickens because you understand the value of running backs over wide receiver. So I understand why Harris made the trade, but is the only reason you made the trade to get George Pickens?
No, I just don't want to suck as bad as my team is actually sucking. Robinson and Pierce are probably my keepers unless something happens to them to where, an Achilles, and I'm like, well, that's not the best injury to try to come back from. The other thing is giving up is just not something I do. There's no advantage to finishing lower in this league, so there's no reason to do it. So you are encouraged to play all year. Also, me being as spiteful as I am, would like to beat people, especially if it costs them the playoffs. So if I can spoil it for other people, I will. I will try. I will probably try to make some more trades. The problem is the only rookie that would have been really worth trading for just got injured, and I knew Harris wasn't trading him away anyway. So there's not many, like, I would have to do some really interesting trades to go get things that are really going to build me up for next year, because I'll have to start doing research on really good waiver ads from like the drop ad, or just really good drafted players that have done way past what was expected, to see if I want to keep one of them instead of one of my rookies as that. Because as it stands now, I drafted Pierce really early, 4th round, whereas Robinson was dropped, so I can keep him all the way in the back. And the way they're playing currently, that would be the way to do it, because Pierce is still looking better because he's just performing better. And there's not another running back.
Sorry, I'm probably just a little bit behind. What Robinson are you talking about?
I think it's Brian.
Yeah, 2-shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Commanders.
Yes.
I thought for some reason you were talking about
Wandell.
no, James. Who's the ex?
James Robinson's the new Jets running back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for some reason I thought maybe I missed that Brashawn dropped him and you picked him up or something like that.
Nope. I picked up Brian Robinson after Corey dropped him when he got shot, even though it was obvious he was going to get put on IR. So like he should have just waited, put him in IR.
Yeah, but this is a great segue. Corey uses the IR slots appropriately.
What?
And so he
Most
puts
people
one
do.
person IR and then doesn't. All right. So here's the thing about the stupidity of Spears' comments in the chat, right? It's like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong because I didn't pick up a guy. I just put him in the second IR slot and didn't pick up a guy. So it's the exact same amount of players and there's no difference, blah, 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 blah.
It sounds like Winnie the Pooh.
But here's the thing. You did do something wrong because the rules state and have stated for the last, I think, 3 years that, so 2020, right? So this is the third season that the second IR spot is only designated for a COVID out player. Brian, you're correct. The NFL doesn't do that anymore. Hasn't changed the fact that the fucking stupid foreskins haven't changed that rule. It's still a rule in our league. So you did do something wrong twice this season by putting a second player in your IR spot. So your statement of I didn't do anything wrong, I didn't break the rules, I didn't cheat is wrong. You are categorically wrong because you did break the rules of the league. So fuck off. I don't understand why you're the only person who seems to be like, oh, I have to thumb my nose at the rules and push back. Just when they say, hey, it's the end of the season or a new season, let us know if you think there should be any rule changes or anything like that, then make your case. Then you can play this card of this is stupid, that's stupid, but you keep your mouth shut. You don't do anything. Every season you find some way to thumb your nose at the rules or try to be whatever. And it's dumb. So there. Just everybody else plays by the rules. Why is it an issue for you?
Yeah, Dick. That was beautifully said. Thank you, Carver.
But what is the punishment? This is the second time this season that he's put two players in the IR. I don't think he took a punishment the first time. So if the foreskins don't punish him, then what do you guys like? Just a figurehead, just a face with no power, just a Biden.
It's like great questions. Great questions being asked right now.
Or are you more of like a your relative, a Harris? See what I did there?
Yeah, I see what you did there. It's great, great questions you're posing there. I don't know. We're gonna have to get together and discuss this. Yeah, I was frustrated. I was at basketball practice, and so I finally was on my way home, and I saw these text messages from the chat in the in our sleeper app, and like, this motherfucker. So I was having fun at the beginning, and then I was like, what the fuck? You broke the rules. It's that simple. Like you just said, it is a rule. It is a rule in the league. You broke the rules.
Oh, I also like the comment that said, I'm obviously trying to point out the stupidity of the rule. Was that obvious to anybody that that's what he was doing? Or did everybody just think, oh, this is Brian cheating again?
Well,
That's the one.
the other one was like, why did it need to be pointed out if nobody else was abusing it?
Right?
If it's not being abused, everybody knows it, everybody ignores it. You're
And-
just annoyed by bad logical rules like that don't affect anything.
And I totally could use 2 IR spots. I have Hollywood Brown and I have Brees Hall, and I took Hollywood Brown off of my IR so I could put Brees Hall in it. And Hollywood is just sitting on my bench. He's going to be on my bench. I'm not dropping Hollywood yet. He's on my bench.
Corey has had the same situation. I think I remember like one time Andy Brooks had like 5 players in an out designation. Before the trade, this is kind of besides the point, but I'm going back to a previous point I made that Brashawn just thinks he's better than everybody, because before the trade, he had like 3 open bench spots. And I'm like, this is just Brashawn flexing. He's like, I'm better than all of you guys. I don't even need 3 extra players. You all suck. I can do it without these guys. So I see you, Brashawn. I see you.
So-
But yeah, going back to, since I brought up Brashawn, his trade with Richie on the surface to me doesn't make sense, in the sense that Richie only got Stephon Diggs. Richie's, I don't think, like one wide receiver away from being this super contender. So it feels, and he can't keep Stephon Diggs for next year because Brashawn drafted him in as his first draft pick after the keepers. So it doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, it makes sense. Brashawn is like, yeah, get great players, but
Yeah.
I don't understand why Richie makes this trade from thinking that this is going to super help him. Now, Chewy brought up a good point that I didn't take into consideration of, you're still trying to win and beat people and knock them out of the playoffs. And I understand Richie's not a quitter and he's going to keep fighting. I just think that having Kamara and Kittle on your team helps you more than having just Stephon Diggs. So I just don't understand the trade. Maybe you guys see it differently and can fill me in.
I also don't understand it. I mean, if you have Kamara, why would you trade him?
Because you could keep him.
You could keep him. Why would you trade him?
No, you can't keep him. No.
Oh.
That was tough.
Shit. I also, I'm with you. I mean, you're getting Diggs, but like you said, I mean, I think Kamara and Kittle both together is more of a value than Diggs personally. We already talked about running backs. We always talk about running backs, how they mean more. So I think for the Foreskins, we're going to have a conversation. I think we're going to make it 18 points a catch for wide receivers. So they value more now starting next season. But yeah.
The funny thing is they're only valued more because so many of them get hurt. Like Brashawn's team is doing better because he drafted a bunch of excellent wide receivers than bunching up a bunch of running backs that just get hurt. Like,
I mean,
Like, if
he
you
kept
get the
Cup-
best
hold on,
value
hold on,
at the spot,
hold on. So maybe I could look it up, but he kept Cup and he
Yep.
drafted Stephon Diggs.
Yep.
Barely plays Ayuk. He traded away Keenan Allen, and those are like his first 4 or 5 picks.
Right.
So saying that he's winning because he drafted a bunch of good wide receivers, I don't see that as necessarily.
Well, what I was in the process of saying was that he drafted best value, right? Like, so because the receivers are falling more because people are picking running backs earlier than they need to be because there's such an emphasis on them, it's working out for him. Plus, this just started because he turned one of those receivers into 2 better players, like that add up better. So he's doing something better than the 3 of us. Well, except Harris's record is better.
Hey, I will say I like this trade for Brashawn. I don't like it for Richie. Like he's like
Right.
Carver saying, I like this trade for Brashawn. He got Kamara and he got Kittle. Like I'm 100% on that for Brashawn. Like good job, Brashawn.
But
Absolutely.
it also wasn't working for Richie. Richie's team is 8th, but he's only 3 and 4. Like if your team is still losing, you've got to change it up. It may not be the best, but you know, it's Kittle, you know, now the hope is Kittle will start doing things, but has he this season? Like, hasn't he been a disappointment up until like probably recently? So you guys are more talking about him for the last few years. Like, yeah, he's had 2 good weeks the last 2 weeks, which gave him a trader high value, but he started the season as garbage. Like he was meaningless up until week 6.
Here's the thing, right? So Richie is getting rid of Kittle, and he's either going to play Dawson Knox or Gerald Everett. So, you know, Gerald Everett had a couple good games in the beginning of the season, but it's not like he's a world beater. And then as a replacement for Kamara, he's going to do Devonta Foreman or Chuba Hubbard. So I don't see where, like, I still think, and his wide receivers, Drake London, Wan'Dale Robertson, Alec Pierce, Amon-Ra St. Brown, I still say that his wide receiver core, his team before the trade, makes more sense than his team after the trade. Now, of course, the name of this segment is bullshit, and we're just bullshitting right now. It doesn't, who cares? I'm not trying to accuse either of these guys of doing anything shady or underhanded. We're just trying to get into the minds of these 2 gentlemen.
They're none of them are Spear, so
So they're not cheaters.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand. But yeah, I just wanted to have a little round table on if you guys were as confused about the trade as I was.
I love the trade for Brashawn. I think it's great for Brashawn. Good for you, B.
Yeah, because he got better overall, and I just don't see where Richie got better overall.
Yeah. Time will tell.
I think the team overall, I think the trade makes Rashawn's team better overall and gives him more of a chance of doing well. I don't see how it makes Richie's team better overall. I don't think it gives him the chance of doing better overall, and it doesn't give him a keeper option in the future. So I just don't understand it. We do have less than a minute. So I do want to say I did pay up on a card bet that I lost. It has to do with what Harris said yesterday. I have hair in less places than I used to. And once I figure out how to splice a couple mini videos together into one video, that'll be sent out to the masses. So you have that to look forward to. And if you ever need to